We're going to start with our 3 and out, where we kind of recap the 3 biggest takeaways from the high school football weekend.
And there were a lot of big takeaways.
And what a high school football weekend was. It was hard to narrow down 3. We'll start, though, in Houston with the biggest game of the week, with Katy and Manville. Katy comes away with a 35-17 win, pretty methodical. I didn't think Katy played particularly well. Their offense, I thought, sputtered at times, but give a lot of credit to Manville for having having a good game plan. This is by far the closest game they've played since that 14-7 win over the Woodlands.
Did you watch this game on TV?
Yeah.
Okay, see. We were trying to get it at the AT&T press box. Wasn't happening.
No, I watched it, and Katy looked very Katy-like.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks to how good that Manville team is.
Sure.
But they go out and get a great win, and they now will match up against Cibolo Steel 2 p.m. Saturday at Alamo Stadium, which is just a fabulous game there. So should be a lot of fun. Katy, you wondered where their head was going to be at after an odd week where they very nearly got booted out of the playoffs. But they did not show many signs of they looked focused, they looked ready to go, and I think that really the close score is more a credit to Manville than it is anything about Katy.
And that was with some early mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, Manville really came out of the gates just ugly, but they made a game of it. A lot of credit to them. You spent some time at AT&T Stadium this
A lot
weekend,
of time.
correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
so I was there Friday afternoon for both games, and then I left the racetrack, went home, changed, and went straight to AT&T for 2 more on Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you really overdosed on football.
Yeah.
You do know that in a couple of weeks, we are 2 weeks away now from the state championship games, and we are going to be just mainlining high school football.
I'm already sad we're losing it.
I know.
That's part of why I'm so desperate to go to so many games right now. Is they're high quality, great teams, great players, great coaches.
Well, and I tweeted it on the DCTF account at DCTF. You can follow us. But there are only what's the
32?
number? 32.
11
There
man
are only
games?
32 games total.
Oh,
That
total.
includes 11
Oh, okay.
or 6-man.
It's okay.
There are 30 11-man games and 2 6-man games left. It's sad times. No, is that right?
That can't be right. That's not divisible.
Uh-oh. I tweeted something bad.
34 maybe?
34 probably. That sounds right. Wait, no.
Yeah.
10, carry the 4, 19, 80, 87. I'll get to it in a minute. But the high school football season is wearing down. We'll move on to second down. It was a big weekend for revenge. If you lost a regular season game to a team you played in the playoffs.
Tough to be a team twice, man.
Aside from
tough.
Canadian, who just mowed past Stratford again, you had Cedar Park Vista Ridge getting vengeance on Austin Vandergrift in what couldn't be a more different game.
Yeah.
That first matchup was 77-40 or something crazy. I mean, it was nuts. It was 49-14 Vista Ridge at some point before Vandergrift comes on back. And then this time around, about as ho-hum as they come, Cedar Park Vista Ridge 24, Vandergrift 17. A virtuoso performance from the Vista Ridge defense, who held Vandergrift to by far its season low. Great win for Vista Ridge. They move on to take on George Ranch, who beat Temple. And by the way,
okay,
while we're mentioning things, because I picked Cedar Park Vista Ridge to beat Vandergrift.
Yeah.
And the other one, which was Refugio getting revenge over Shiner in what was another great game, 17-14. Very low-scoring slugfest. By the way, y'all.
Oh, here we go.
If you're into that kind of thing, my fixin' to pick'em picks, all 44 picks, 35-9. 35.
Is that good?
9.
I don't know if that's good.
That means in the past 2 weeks, I am 70-17.
Okay.
Come at me, Internet. Come at me.
What about those ones you didn't get right?
What about them? Listen, man.
What do you guys say about those?
Listen, even the Mona Lisa's falling apart, okay? Like, there's... nothing gold can stay. I nailed it. I feel very good about my picks over the weekend. But Refugio, I picked against them. I thought that was going to hold to form. I thought that the way that Shiner beat them in the first time was going to hold form. But I'll tell you, the key difference for this Refugio team of late has been their defense. This has been a team that gave up its share of points, but they've always kind of been bailed out by their offense. Now the defense has really stepped up. They now draw Lovelady, who continues to roll with a great win over Shelbyville. They'll draw them 7 p.m. Friday at Georgetown. Should be a fun one there in 2A Division 1. So a big week for revenge. And then
our Cuero Gobblers joining us later got revenge.
Our Cuero Gobblers, yes, they beat Senton, and great, great for them to get revenge on them. Great win for the Gobblers. We'll talk with Coach Travis Reed here in just a moment. And then the third one is what I think, if you look at the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I think it is wide open.
In what sense?
With the exception of, because I think you've got a lot of teams that are not used to being there.
Oh, for sure. It's kind of cool.
So
it's kind of cool to see so many programs in the mix.
First of all, I think the 6A Division 1, the way it's shaken out with the state semifinalists, I think is perfect.
Yeah.
Because I think you've got the best team in DFW, at least in that bracket. We'll say at least in that bracket. The best team in DFW in Allen. You've got the best team in Central Texas in Westlake, at least in that bracket. The best team in Houston in North Shore, and the best team in San Antonio in Judson. I think that's what you want, right? You want this to be a regional, meeting point. And here they are, truly representing 4 different regions of the state. I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
But then you look at the other teams from the DFW area who are there. Mansfield.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you? That's nice. Good job for Jeff
That's
Hall.
new.
But that's odd. Okay, you're there. But moving on, Aledo. We expected them.
Yeah.
Mansfield Lake Ridge. Okay. All right. Little odd to see Kirk Thor's team there.
On the rise.
Lake Dallas. We're going to talk with Mike Young here in a bit. But okay, the Falcons are there. Frisco Lone Star.
Jason Shot, man.
Okay.
He can sling it.
They're there. I think that when you look at those at the 6A and 5A ranks, you've got a lot of new blood in the DFW area.
Yeah.
And I think that's very fun. Now, you've got a lot of the blue bloods there as well. Allen, of course. And then the smaller school ranks, Argyle, Salina, squads like that who have been there, done that. But I think that you've got a lot of kind of newer blood in there, and I think that's good. I think that's good for the sport.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all for dynasties, okay? I think dynasties are fun.
Yeah.
Katy, Allen, Lake Travis,
Cameron Yo.
Yeah, Cameron Yo. I'm really into dynasties. Salina from back a few years ago. But I also think that when we are able to get a more unpredictable, shall we say, slate, I think that that's good for the sport in general. And so seeing these new teams, seeing Mansfield Lake Ridge, seeing teams like Brock get in there and make noise, I think is good for the sport as a whole.
For sure.
Again, nothing against the Allens and the Katys and the Converse Judsons and the teams that the Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
But I think that this is good for the sport when you've got new teams in what is a very dense area like DFW making noise. I think that's very good for the sport. So that's it. You can check out all the stuff at texasfootball.com/playoffs. We got updated brackets, updated matchups, all the semifinal matchups. And yeah, it's going to be fun. The semifinals kick off. There are no more Thursday night games. We won't have Thursday night games this week. But we will, of course. We'll have 4 of them next Thursday.
Yeah.
4 games. 10, 1, 5, and 8. It's going to be fun. That's my favorite day. Of the state title games, that's my favorite day.
Oh, boy.
Because you cram it all in. Yeah. There's a lot of anticipation, and then it's just like, it's like starving yourself for like a week.
For Thanksgiving.
And then going to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Yeah. And it's like, here are 4 small school games that are going to be awesome all in one day.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted, and then you're like, and then the best feeling of the year is that I guess it's 3A Division 2 this year is going to be the last game on Thursday.
That sounds
right. Is that game gets over, and it's going to wrap up at like 11:30. And we're going to take care of our business, and then we're going to walk back to our hotel, and on the way back we're going to go, We got 2 more days of this.
Ooh.
That's the best feeling in the world. I'm very excited about that. TexasFootball.com/playoffs for all that kind of stuff.